Jack's subversive. I mean, that's the thing about the Jack tales. And I'm remembering another Jack story from Joe Neal's book, Tales Until Dawn, which is a fabulous collection of Cape Breton stories that John Shaw translated from Gaelic. But he has a story called Jack Fury. And the name right there. You know, and then Jack, he's like a one-man anarchist revolution, and all the rich people trying to put him down. They come to a very bad end.
Yeah.
But yeah, that idea. Yeah.
Jack and the Goose is like that too. That story where Jack, he puts the old lady down in the trunk. It's pretty violent, Jack, on that one, and he does a lot of stuff to get to because his family, his brother is so poor. The people next door are so rich, and that they're not giving anything away. And Jack finds every way to steal all their food and stuff like that to get ahead. Right?
It's called Jack and the Goose.
It's called Jack and the Goose. Yeah, that's what I never got to do that story, but I love that story. Yeah. That's from Herbert Halpern and John Widdowson's book. Yeah.
But I mean, you can tell why there's no Disney movie of Jack, because Jack is ruthless sometimes. He really is. I mean, he has to, and Barefoot Helen isn't far off the mark on that either. These characters go up against basically the ruling class, and they just subvert the order. You know, they take the bosses down, and never to be seen on a Disney cartoon, I don't think.
But there's that other thing that kindness thing that he has that always seems to pull through. And then, again, when the old lady comes out of the woods, the other two brothers won't share their food with him, and he does.
Yeah.
I remember a little boy in Fogo, we were doing the show one time. And I said, how come the bird comes to things happen well for Jack? She said, because he be's kind to the birds, right, like that, right? And so that thing that your book where he talks to the fox, he's the one who talks to the fox and has a recognition of that. So I wonder, what is that all the stories seem to have, that is that people who are a bit odd and a bit different and a bit innocent do well in the stories. And it seems like we're being told, like Peg Bearskin, she's obviously the most valuable child imaginable in that world. And yet she's big, ugly, and hairy. And she's, no one wants to talk to her or whatever. But is there some voice telling us that this is who we have got to watch out? These people who are different, who are diverse or whatever, are the people that we need to make sure we pay attention to.
I think you're right there, Andy. I think that's what it's all about. And I think that also reminding us that we live in nature, right? And we should have more of a profound relationship with nature than we've come to have as we've become more and more industrialized.
I think that's where folk tales are really timely for the times we're in right now, because the true hero in a folk tale is the one who listens. They can go on and slay the dragon or use a slingshot or do whatever with the giants or do all the great deeds and mighty acts of whatever it is. But the real moment in a story when someone shows their true self or their true power is when they listen to the little voice. And I mean, if we don't start learning to listen to those voices that are off the bandwidth a little bit, we're screwed. Whenever I tell in school, and I'm like you, I like to tell to kids, I always think there might be a Jack in the audience. And I don't mean by name. It could be a girl, it could be a boy. But it's the kid who's always being sent to the office. It's the one who never behaves. It's the irreverent, lippy, shitty little kid with, now they call an attention span, but they don't have any anymore, ADHD, etc., etc. The kid who's on the spectrum, now they say it, so on and so forth. And I always think to myself, if they hear one of these stories about the kid who's at the bottom, who then becomes the king, or the princess, they will think, that's my story. So that's one of the things I think about the Jack tales and the Barefoot Helen stories, is there might be a Barefoot Helen in your audience, or a Jack, who's just waiting for news about the person they could be one day. And that's the responsibility of the storyteller.